What I have to share with you today is, let me tell you now, to kind of prepare your heart for the message, what kind of message it is. Today's message is a message that I want to specifically share with you today for the purpose of opening your eyes to some things. This is not a theological message. To be honest with you, this message today really has nothing at all to do with God. It does have to do, believe it or not, indirectly with your spiritual growth and development, though. And I pray that as we go into this message today, you will understand the importance of liberating your African mind. The process of African liberation, brothers and sisters, is not something that happens with just a couple of messages. Did y'all hear what I said? Y'all gonna talk back to me today? All right. The process of African liberation, or liberating our African minds, is a 24/7 kind of thing all the time. It's not a course you can take, and then at the end of that course you're liberated. All right? Liberation is a lifelong endeavor. I want to talk about eugenics today. How many of you have ever heard that word before? Eugenics. All right, I see a lot of hands are not up. So if you haven't heard the word before, it's really new to you what I'm getting ready to tell you about. So therefore, that means I want to take my time. Okay, so if I appear to be talking slowly or moving kind of slow, is because I want to be sure that you are absorbing what I'm sharing with you today. All right? Write this word down, eugenics. E-U-G-E-N-I-C-S. Eugenics. The subject for today is eugenics, scientific racism at its best. You've heard me talk about racism before. I know you have. If you've been here any period of time, you've heard me address racism and how we as a people need to be focused on combating racism for our liberation. But there's a side of racism that most of us don't know anything about. You see, when we look at hate crimes, we call that racism. When we look at lynchings, we call that racism. When we see white hoods and white folk walking around dressed in KKK attire and paraphernalia, we call that racism. But there's a part of racism, brothers and sisters, that, it is bombarding the black community and you don't know about it, and it's called eugenics. And I want to make plain to you today what eugenics is. The principal force behind eugenics is racism. Eugenics is the program, notice I said it's the program that is expressed through artificial insemination. If y'all have ever heard of that before. Environmental extremism, genetic engineering, and coercive population policies. Eugenics literally shapes and determines the outcome of debates over welfare reform. Y'all hear about welfare reform. You've heard about health care reform, how the health system now is failing the public. There's the thing behind that, and that thing is called eugenics.